welcome to the third part of differential amplifier. In this part, we will discuss about the single input balanced output differential amplifier, single input unbalanced output differential amplifier. So let us start with the video. These are the four configurations of differential amplifier. These first two, dual input balanced output differential amplifier and dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier, have been covered in the part 1 and part 2 videos. So in this part 3 we will be covering these last two configurations. So let us start with the first one, that is single input balanced output differential amplifier. As you can see the the circuit diagram of single input balanced output differential amplifier. Single input means only one single input is applied at the base of a single transistor. It can be applied at the base of either Q1 or Q2. So but the input will be single, not at the both the bases of the transistors. But the output is taken in a balanced way. By it is called balanced, means it is taken across the collectors of both the transistors C1 and C2. And as we know, these C1 and C2 are at the same potential, that why it is called as the balanced output configuration. So for this configuration, we will be analyzing the DC analysis as well as the AC analysis. As we know, for the DC analysis, what we do, we in the circuit diagram, we replace all the AC sources by the ground, or we make all the AC sources to 0. Only DC sources are present. As you can see, this is plus VCC and here it is minus VCC, and rest of the circuit is same. The V in, which is a AC source, it is reduced to 0 volt. So R in, these are the two transistors Q1 and Q2, which are connected in the common emitter amplifier configuration, with the emitter terminals are tied together. Now the emitter terminal of both the transistor is common. And this RE, in the part 1 we have seen, it is the parallel combination of RE1 and RE2. What is RE1? RE1 is the emitter resistance of transistor Q1, that was we had applied there in the CE amplifier, and RE2 is the emitter resistance of the transistor Q2, a common emitter amplifier. So the DC analysis, the circuit diagram of when we see the equivalent DC circuit analysis, we see the circuit is same for all the four configurations, and we have very covered this DC analysis in detail in the first part, that is in the dual input balanced output configuration part. So it will be held applicable for all the four configurations. And as you know, what we have to find out in the DC analysis, we have to find the operating points. And so the IE, which is equal to the IC, it is given by the VEE minus VBE upon 2RA plus RIN upon beta DC. And VC is equal to VCC plus VBE minus IC RC. So I am giving the link of this first part video, in which the detailed analysis of DC analysis is there in that video. So you can find that link in the description box. Coming on to the AC analysis. For the AC analysis, as we know, what we have to do, we have to in the circuit, we have to reduce all the DC sources to 0. So what were the DC sources in our circuit? That was VCC and minus VE. So we have reduced all the to 0, means they are now connected to ground. Now the equivalent circuit is like this. So all the resistances are there. The current sources are also shown in the DC AC analysis, that is IC1 and IC2 are also shown with the common emitter terminals, that is E1 and E2 are here. The E1 current is flowing. This RE, this is the equivalent of this transistor Q1, and this RE is the equivalent of transistor Q2. As we know, Q1 and Q2 are exactly equal to each other. I mean, in case of the values of their parameters, we have to take those these two transistors exactly equal to each other. Oh, this is the first and the foremost condition of any differential amplifier. that is the transistors which are being used in the circuit, that should be exactly equal. All the parameters, temperature, beta, alpha, all the parameters of both the transistors should be exactly same. So the RC and RIN, all the voltages, currents and voltages, you can see in the circuit. This is the Vin which is applied at the B1 of this Q1. So for the analysis purpose, we have also mentioned all the currents and the voltage polarities across the resistors and the currents. This is IC1, IB1 and IE1. As we know, these are the currents which are flowing in the path of collector, base and emitter paths. And for the analysis purpose, we have also marked these two loops, loop 1 and loop 2, that will be requiring in the during the analysis in the further coming slides. So before coming to the KVL equations, let us discuss 1 to 2 points on the voltage polarities, and that will be clear from this two waveforms, input and output waveform. As you can see, during the this is the V in voltage, as you this is the V in, that is the input applied at the B1 of Q1. So during the positive half cycle of this V1, what happens? It is applied at the base of transistor Q1. So base of the transistor will become positive. So as a result, the transistor Q1 conducts. So when Q1 conducts, the current starts flowing. So when the current starts flowing, the voltage that appears at the collector of Q1 will become low, that decreases as compared to the transistor Q1. So when we compare the status of these two transistors during the positive cycle of the input voltage, what we see that the base becomes positive, Q1 conducts, whereas the base of the transistor Q2 becomes negative and it does not conduct. As a result, the collector voltage at the Q2 is high as compared to the collector voltage at Q1. That's why it is shown here that it is negative, VC1 is negative, and this is the VC2. This is the VC1 and this is VC2, right? So this voltage is positive as compared to the VC2 in the positive half cycle. Similarly, in the negative half cycle of Vin, what happens? The base of Q1 becomes negative. It starts, this current stops flowing. As a result, the VC1 goes high as compared to the VC2. Clear? And the output voltage is given as the difference of the two voltages. Difference of the two voltages, VC2 minus VC1. So as you can see, this V0 is equal to VC2 minus VC1. Right? So coming on to the analysis. So first of all, we will find the voltage gain. So for that, we have to write the Kirchhoff's voltage law for those two loops, loop 1 and loop 2. So let us see those loops. So for the loop 1, in the loop 1, writing the equation starting from this V in 1. This V in 1 is from negative to positive we are going. So V in 1 minus R in into IB1 minus this RE into IE1, then minus this capital RE into IE. Now this is not IE1 or IE2. This is single IE, which is the sum of IE, means which is the resultant of IE1 and IE2. So basically it is, as you can see, this is IE is equal to IE1 minus IE2, right? So that is equal to 0. Again I am repeating, this is equal to, for the loop 1, I am writing the equation KVL V in 1 minus R in IB1 minus RE into IE1 minus RE into IE equal to 0. Similarly for the loop 2, starting from V in minus R in into IB1, this coming on to this RE minus RE into IE1 minus RE into IE2 equal to 0. Clear? So this is what we have written as the two equations like this. this is the first equation and this is the second equation. Now, as you have seen in the diagram, now this I is equal to, I have replaced already, that is equal to IE1 minus IE2. And IB1, we are replacing, IB1 is equal to, approximately equal to IE1 upon beta AC, and IB2 is equal to I upon beta AC. So replacing all these IB1 and IB2 in these two equations, what we will get, V in minus R in, IB1 is replaced by IE1 upon beta AC, and IB2 is replaced by, not there, IB2 is not there, it is replaced by IE upon beta AC. So these two equations 1 and 2 are now converted to equation 3 and 4. So generally R in upon beta AC is very small, so it can be neglected. So equations 3 and 4 becomes R in upon beta AC is very small. This term, this one. These two terms are very small, so they can be neglected, and now the equation become V in 1 minus RE IE1. So we can remove this, we can remove this part because it is very small. So it becomes V in 1, V in minus RE into I1 minus RE this. Now taking IE1 common, and from here also taking IE1 and IE2. So we will get this RE plus RE into IE1 minus RE IE2 equal to V in, and RE equation this become RE into IE1 plus RE into IE2 equal to V in. Now solving this, now these are two equations with variable IE1 and IE2. So we have to solve for IE1 and IE2 by using the Cramer's rule. We know that what is the Cramer rule? It is given by first replacing these terms by these constant values and then finding the IE1. So IE1 equal to V in upon V in into RE, this RE is here, and V in into RE upon the coefficients of all these four terms, right? RE plus RE minus RE, RE and RE. So solving these two determinants, what we get RE plus RE into V in upon RE into RE plus 2RE. Clear? Similarly, for solving IE2, what we get RE into V in upon RE into RE plus 2RE. So by solving the I1 and I2 by using Cramer's rule and then solving the determinant. So I am supposing that you know how to solve the determinant. So now we get two equations 7 and 8. So output voltage V0 is equal to Vc2 minus Vc1. Vc2 is equal to Rc into Ic2. Now what is Vc2? It is the voltage across the collector resistance of Q2 transistor, and Vc1 is equal to minus Rc into Ic1, that is opposite of the Vc2. So that's why minus sign is there. Now substituting the value of Vc2 and Vc1 in V0, V0 is equal to this, which is equal to Rc into Ic2 plus Rc into Ic1. Now replacing Ic2 and Ic1 by current IE, which is approximately equal to IC. So what we get, V0 is equal to Rc into IE2 plus I1. Now substituting the value of IE1 and IE2 from equation 7 and 8, which we have calculated in the previous slides. So V0 is equal to Rc into, this is IE2 and this is IE1. So what we will get? We will get these two terms are cancelled out. That is equal to V0 is equal to V in into Rc upon Re. Now taking this V in on the left hand side upon V0. So V0 upon V in is equal to, this is the gain, which is equal to Rc upon Re. So for the single input balanced output differential amplifier, the voltage gain is given by Rc upon small re. Second parameter is the input resistance. As we know, the input resistance is given by V in upon IB1, means voltage upon current resistance is this. And V in is equal to I replacing IB1 by I upon beta AC. So this is equal to beta AC into V in upon IE1. Now substituting the value of IE1 from equation 7, what we will get? by solving this, taking this parameter to the numerator side, it is beta AC into RE plus 2RE upon RE plus RE. Now, as we know, this capital RE is very, very greater than small re. So now this is approximately equal to RE, and this is approximately equal to 2RE, right? So now what Ra is equal to? Ra is equal to beta AC into Re into 2Re upon Re. Now this Re will cancel, so what we'll get? 2 beta AC into Re. So this is the input resistance, which is nothing but the 2 times the beta AC parameter of the transistors and the AC equivalent emitter equivalent resistance of the transistor. Third is the output resistance. As we are using the single input balanced output configuration, balanced output mean we are taking the output at across C1 and C2. So the output will be measured, output resistance will be measured at the either C1 with respect to ground or C2 with respect to ground. So which is nothing but it is equal to the RC, right? So next is the single input unbalanced output. As you can see, the circuit is same, but only difference is we are applying single input and in unbalanced output. Sorry, this is unbalanced output configuration, and we are taking the output from the C2 terminal with respect to ground, as you can see. So this is our V0, and input is applied at the base B1 of transistor Q1. Rest of the circuit is very much similar to the previous all the three configurations which we have already studied. Ground. So for the DC analysis, as I have already told you, we are reducing the AC sources to 0. So V in equal to 0, and this is V in 2. If it is applied, it should be equal to the 0. So for the DC analysis, it should be equal to 0, and actually it is not there. So we have not applied V into, so this is not there, right? So the circuit is same. So the operating points and the IE values and DC values, as I've already discussed, that is given in the part 1 in detail, and you can go to the link of that in the description box. For the AC analysis, we have reduced all the DC sources VCC and VA to 0, and as you can see, the transistors are also replaced by their AC equivalent, and the various currents flowing in the circuit, that is IC1, IB1, all these equations, these have been shown, and these have been marked as loop 1 and loop 2. For the AC analysis, we will be requiring these two loops. Generally, for the AC analysis, as we know, we calculate the voltage gain. Generally, this configuration is not used for the two reasons. The first reason is that the very large components are required, and the voltage gain is also very less as compared to the other configuration. No doubt, in the unbalanced configurations, the voltage gain is very less as compared to the balanced output configuration. And also in this configuration, that is single input unbalanced output, there exists a small DC voltages exist, though there is no AC voltage applied at the input. So coming on to the voltage gain, so as it has also, you can read out that the AC equivalent circuit of single input unbalanced output is very much similar to the single input balanced output differential amplifier, which we discussed in the previous slides. But the only difference is that how we are measuring the output. Here we are measuring the output across one of the collector and the ground, but in that, in balanced output, we were measuring across the two collectors of both the transistors. So therefore, as the circuit is same, everything is same, so the equations which we have derived for IE1 and IE2, that hold valid for this configuration also, right? So we have to just write that VA V naught, because there is a difference of V naught only. So here V naught is equal to VC2, because we are taking it across one of the collector, and we are taking at the C2 collector. So that's why V naught is equal to VC2, and it is nothing but RC into IC2, and IC2 is exact approximately equal to IE2. So now putting the value of IE2 from equation 8, right, we can find out the voltage V0. So V0 is equal to RC into, putting the value of IE2 from equation 8, this is this, and generally this RE is very greater than RE, small RE, so it is reduced to RE into RC into V in divided by 2 times RE into capital RE, because now this is approximately equal to 2RE. So this is equal to RC into V in, because this RE got cancelled, RC into V in upon 2RE. So taking this V into the left hand side upon V0, so this is V0 upon V in, which is the gain, and it is equal to RC upon 2RE. So next is the input resistance. The input resistance of single input unbalanced output is very much similar to this single input balanced output. It should be balanced here. So the input resistance is same as calculated for that. That is equal to 2 times beta AC into RE. In the same video we have calculated in the previous slide. So you can refer to that. So it is 2 into beta AC into RE, and the condition is RE is very greater than small RE. And the output resistance is measured across the output terminal, that is C2, and it is nothing but equal to RC. So this we have covered all the 4 configurations with all the 3 parameters, that is voltage gain, input resistance, output resistance. Now coming on to the numerical, which we have calculated for previous 2 configurations also. So the specifications are given as RC, you have been given as RC, RE and RIN1 and RIN2, right? VCC minus VE, beta AC and beta DC are given, beta VVB is equal to given. So what we have to find out? We have to find out the voltage gain, input resistance and output resistance for both single input balanced output and single input unbalanced output differential amplifier. Now as we know, for the DC analysis we have calculated this ICQ and IC. ICQ is nothing but it is IE equal to IC. This is the equation. Now putting the value of these equation, now this is the RE value. RE is equal to 4.7 kilo ohm. So this is 10 minus, putting the values from the question only. So this becomes equal to 0.9877, and approximately it is taken as 0.988 milliampere. Similarly, VCEQ is equal to VCC plus VB minus RC Q into IC. So this ICQ what we have calculated is 988 into 10 raised to minus 3. Now it is equal to, right, 0.988. So this is equal to 10 plus point. So this is RC into what we have given, that ICQ is equal to 0.988 into 10 raised to minus 3. So putting the values, what we are get with VCEQ is equal to 8.54 volts. So solving this, we will come with this. So now we have calculated ICQ and VCEQ. Coming on to the voltage gain, we know that for the single input balanced output, the equation for the voltage gain is equal to RC upon RE. What is RC? It is equal to 2.2 kilo ohm, and RE is nothing but the RE is equal to 25 upon, this is ICQ, right? So it is equal to IC RE, it is equal to 25 upon REEQ. So what you can see, this is equal to 0.9877 or 0.988. So it is equal to 2.2 into 10 raised to 3 upon 25.3, and it is coming out to be 86.96. So your voltage gain is now, in case of single input balance, 86.96, and input resistance is 2 times beta AC into RE. So 2 into 100 into RE we have already calculated, that is 25.3. So putting this value here, we will get the input resistance equal to 5.06 kilo ohm, and output resistance is the RC, which is the simply 2.2 kilo ohm. So for the single input unbalanced output, there is only change in the voltage gain equation, and that is nothing, that is equal to RC upon 2RE. So it is 2.2 upon 2 into 25.3 upon 2200 upon 2 into 25.3, and it is equal to 43.47. Input resistance is 2 beta AC into RE, it is 5.06 kilo ohm, and output resistance is 2.2 kilo ohm. So these are the three parameters we have calculated for both the configurations. Now for the comparison purpose, we have solved this numerical for all the four configurations. So voltage gain is equal to 86.96 in case of dual input balanced output for the same parameters for the same circuit, and it is for dual input unbalanced output it is 43.48. Single input balanced output, the voltage gain is 86.96. For single input unbalanced output, it is 43.47. So what you can make out that the in case of dual input or single input and the output mode is balanced mode, the voltage gain is same. So irrespective of the input, either dual or single, the output is balanced, so the voltage gain is equal. But in case of unbalanced output, either it is dual input or single input, the voltage gain is same, 43.47 or 43.48, hardly matters. So but what we can see that the change in the voltage gain is there on the manner in which we are taking the output. And as you can see, in case of balanced output, either single or dual input, the voltage gain is higher as compared to the voltage gain achieved with the unbalanced output, right? But the input resistance and output resistance, as you can say, it is similar for all the four configurations. Clear? So these are the summary in terms of the equations. So as we were saying, in case of balanced output configuration, either dual or single input, the voltage gain is RC upon RE. But in case of unbalanced output, it becomes half. So it is equal to RC upon 2 times RE, right? So this is also RC upon 2 times. So in case of balanced output, the voltage gain is twice as compared to the unbalanced output differential amplifier configuration. The input resistance equation is 2 times beta AC into RE in all the four configuration, and output resistance is equal to RC. And I have also written here the ICQ equation and the VCEQ. So for all these four configurations, this is the summary and the full summarized equations which we have derived in all the in all the four configurations you can see. So I hope this will be clear to all the viewers and all the students. So in case there is any doubt, any query is there, you can write in the chat box, in the description, in the chat box. So I will try my best to answer all the queries. So this is the references I have taken. So in this book, it is very clearly it is given all the differential amplifiers. Thank you.